What's special about the ocean for all of us is it's a very wild, open space that you can go to sort of forget about all the problems that sometimes can really get us down.
I really love just walking on the beach and seeing pretty rocks, looking in the tide pools to see what's living in there.
This is where the mountain meets the sea, a rocky, rugged coastline, lots of wild, beautiful, seemingly clean beaches. But when we got around some of our urban communities, we started to see some problems that actually do exist here.
We have over 50 Blue Water Task Force labs run by volunteers across the country that are out at the beaches collecting water samples and measuring bacteria levels at our beaches and in our recreational waterways. Government agency programs usually are only seasonal in the summer warm swim seasons, so we're out there year-round through fall and the winter months so that people have information on where it's safe to get into the water.
We don't have the capacity internally to be able to do the monitoring as much as they do, and it gives us information to be able to track where we have problems so we know where to spend resources at the city.
The Blue Water Task Force program has 480 water testing sites, 55 labs in North America, and 7,500 water tests are performed annually.
So this particular site is a site that I love to surf at, and throughout the year there's many surf camps and surf lessons going on at this beach, and making sure it's protected and we know what's going on with the water quality is important.
Wherever we are, we have to make sure we look at the water, we look at the earth, and we say, hey, how can I take care of this?
The #1 source of pollution at the beach is stormwater and urban runoff.
We like to say that everything runs downstream and ends up in the ocean, and oftentimes surfers are the canary in the coal mine for some of these water quality problems. When I first moved to Newport, Oregon about 18 years ago, I went surfing right near Nye Beach and I got sick. I had a bit of an ear infection and that turned into a little bit of a skin infection, and I started doing some research about where was there water quality testing, what was going on in the community, and found out about the Blue Water Task Force program with Surfrider Foundation.
The work that Blue Water Task Force does is very important because it's the education of our community, but also the education of the volunteers. They get to understand how their community functions and what they can do to protect water quality.
I have people ask me what the stick is for that I'm having to take the samples with, and I explain to them, and then they say, thank you very much, we appreciate that. And they do follow the results online. And sometimes they volunteer, can I help? It feels really great that other people are willing to help.
I think one of the coolest moments I've ever experienced with our Blue Water Task Force program has been sitting in a city council meeting with youth volunteers. They had definitive evidence in the city council meeting. When they pulled a sample out of the storm drain, they pulled some toilet paper out, and they were able to hold that up in front of their city officials and say, we don't think this is the birds using the toilet paper. And that was really the first time that we saw the light bulb come on for our city officials and say, wow, we do have some issues here with our sewer lines, and it was really the kids.
Today we were doing the samples, and so then tomorrow we can test them and look at them and see the bacteria and stuff.
Working in the lab, they can sort of experience this magic and mystery behind processing the samples and putting them in the incubator and then waiting and wondering what the results are going to be like. And even the results are pretty cool for a lot of our samplers because they glow.
When we get an elevated result, my gosh, you think the kids are having a New Year's party. They just get ecstatic seeing all that.
A lot of them mention being inspired to start careers in science.
I've been volunteering at the aquarium and the Blue Water Task Force since I was 12. Testing is actually going to be part of my application for Oregon Coast Community College for aquarium science.
There's some simple ways you can stay safe at the beach. First, always know before you go. Check your local water quality report. Don't go into the water immediately after it rains. Sometimes it's best to wait 24 to 72 hours depending on where you are. Also swim and surf away from stormwater drains and river outlets. And finally, rinse off with fresh water.
My favorite thing about the Blue Water Task Force program is engaging not only just youth but community members in solutions to issues. They don't just have to accept the world for the way that it is. They don't have to sit and complain and be upset or mad, but they can actually be proactive and get involved. They can engage in science, they can engage in advocacy. It can be a cornerstone to campaigns and really just bettering their community.
Can we go surfing now? Turn that off, let's go surfing.